Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It's Christmas Day, and yes, yesterday I did say there wasn't going to be a video today. What am I going to tell you? I lied. I'm just a glutton for punishment. I'm here making a video on Christmas morning. I've got some spare time, so why not? And I want to talk about 64-year-old Graham Connell. And quite a few people have contacted me about Graham because in the last few days I've been talking about people who die in rivers. A couple of days ago I made a video about why people are seeing a pattern between three completely unrelated cases who have been found dead in rivers. Nicola Bulley, Gaynor from earlier this month, and now Claire Marshall from Perth in Scotland. I talked about the availability heuristic. It's a cognitive bias that we all have. It's an evolutionary advantage. You know, we're hardwired for cognitive biases because they're shortcuts. They help us navigate through life. So I went into quite some detail in that video. So go and check it out if you haven't seen it. And then yesterday, I talked about a case, again in Scotland, but in the Highlands, of a man who's been missing for 4 years, who it's suspected is in a river. He's called James Payton, and his case, nobody talks about that one. My argumentation has been that Nicola Bulley has primed people to be really hyper-aware of women, especially middle-aged women, who go missing near rivers. You know, I've heard a lot of theories that there's a serial killer or maybe something slightly less dramatic than that there's almost like a mass suicide thing going on, that people are jumping in rivers because they've heard about someone else who jumped in a river. And like being primed, if you want to take your own life, I guess there's that. But most of the time, again, 2 days ago I talked about the statistics. Most of the time, people who die in waterways die accidentally. Although I'm not discounting intentionality in Gaynor's and Claire's cases because I don't know enough. The inquests haven't happened, don't know enough about the backstory. And Gaynor was certainly behaving unusually. Now, this is Graham. So he went missing on the same day that Claire Marshall did. So Monday, so it'd be a week ago, the 18th. His golden doodle, so golden doodle is a golden retriever crossed by poodle. So a similar kind of dog to Tilly. Some of them are smaller if they've been bred with a miniature poodle. Tilly's a labradoodle, Labrador cross standard poodle, that's why she's tall. But some golden doodles and labradoodles are bred with miniature poodles, so they're smaller. But anyway, the dog was found on Wednesday. So the dog was found dead in the River Aire on Wednesday. And this is Leeds in West Yorkshire. So wrong side of the Pennines, but not too far away from me. I think Leeds is about 80 miles, something like that. So police searching for a missing man who was last seen setting off for a run have found his dog dead in a river. Graham Connell, 64, left his house in Leeds with his family's golden doodle Maddie at 3:45 p.m. on Monday and was reported missing almost 4 hours later when he failed to return home. Maddie was recovered from the River Aire near Wykebeck, and we're going to get the map up in a minute, on Wednesday and was identified by microchip. Police divers have been searching the water near the Woodlesford Lock, where Graham regularly runs. His car was found parked in the car park nearby. Detective Inspector John Graham of Leeds District CID said, "We are continuing to carry out searches of the wider area around Woodlesford Lock to find Graham, and we are keen to hear from anyone who may have seen him and his dog at any point along his usual running route on late Monday afternoon. We are also continuing to support the family following the discovery of their dog this morning." So this is from Wednesday. There's been no update, so presumably he hasn't been found. And to keep them updated as we progress our searches for Graham. Graham's normal running route takes him alongside the Aire and Calder navigation and River Aire up to the Skelton Grange Road, around Skelton Lake, Skelton Country Park, and down to the bottom of St Aidan's Nature Reserve. Okay, so Maddie the dog was found in the River Aire. So this is the River Aire, right? So this is Leeds. It's like on the outskirts of Leeds. So the River Aire is running east. It joins the River Ouse in North Yorkshire. The River Ouse runs through York. So it's running up here. From its source in the Yorkshire Dales near Malham to its confluence with the River Ouse at Ermine, an Old English word for river mouth, near Goole. So it starts there, comes down, and then ends up in York. So you've got the River Aire, which is the natural river, and then you've got this canal, the Aire and Calder Navigation. So presumably back in the day when canals were needed for transport and stuff, before railways and roads were a thing. Well, roads were a thing, but before cars. So some rivers were inappropriate for navigation, so they built canals alongside of them. Maddie was found in the River Aire near to White Beck. So this little beck here, creek, brook, however you want to call it, joins the River Aire. So Maddie was found in this area. And Graham, his car was found in a car park nearby here somewhere. I don't know exactly where. But he must run this way, because St Aidan's Nature Reserve's down here, so he must run round here and then maybe runs back, I don't know, but he's running in this direction. So it sounds like he's just started his run, perhaps. And you can see here there are paths that will take you. There's a weir. There's paths that will take you in between the River Aire and the canal. Right, take you along the canal path. But Maddie was found in the actual river, not in the canal. But the searches have been focused for Graham along here, the Woodlesford Lock. So the River Aire goes round this bend here. So they've got two waterways to search. There's another lock. Even though Maddie was found in the River Aire, if they're searching around this lock here, does the Aire feed into this? Maybe it does. So how did Graham and Maddie manage to end up in the river? We're assuming Graham's also in the river. Well, it could be that Maddie jumped in, got into trouble, and Graham jumped in after her. That sometimes happens. It could be that they both fell in. Like, a lot of runners run with a dog on a lead. Some of them run with a dog attached to them in some way, like a clip on a belt or something like that. But if he was running with Maddie clipped to him on a belt or on a lead that you can wrap around your waist or your shoulder, presumably they'd be still together, unless the shoulder strap, because some shoulder straps are loose. Cassie's lead I can make into a shoulder strap if I want to, but I find it uncomfortable and annoying. So if Maddie was running with a shoulder strap, then maybe that would come away. Or maybe Maddie was completely loose and maybe they toppled over each other and both fell in. In which case you'd think they'd both be in the River Aire, because Maddie was found in the River Aire. Maybe Graham fell in and Maddie jumped in after him. If the banks aren't high, Maddie might have gone in after him. Don't know. But it is suspected that Graham is in the river, on this stretch of the river somewhere. But if you saw him at any point, then let West Yorkshire Police know. The people on Twitter are asking questions. Robert McAdam, missing and found in the water near Kings Lynn in November. Didn't know about that case. Gaynor Lord. Julian De Bono. Didn't know about his case either. Graham Connell. And now this lady saw talking about Claire, I'm assuming. Monday 18th of December, early hours, Claire Marshall, River Aire, body now found. Afternoon, Graham Connell, River Aire, still missing. Evening, another man, Marcus Castle, 29, River Aire, vanished from a Christmas party, was pulled out from River Aire, but sadly resource failed. This cannot be normal. Why so many? Whatever the reason, it's worrying. I'll refer you back to the availability heuristic. We've all been primed about people in rivers. We've all been primed by Nicola Bulley. And people will make particular patterns about women. So I'm glad, actually, that these people on Twitter are looking at the bigger picture. But you've all still been primed. There are some unusual circumstances in that it has rained so much all through the summer and now all through autumn and now into winter. It's still raining. It's mild and it's raining. We've had about 4 days of frost. That's it. So the ground is saturated. The water has nowhere to go. The ground is slippery. The rivers are high. Even little brooks and streams and creeks near me are really high because the ground is just saturated. So I think we're probably going to see slightly higher than normal amount of people coming to harm near rivers because they're slippy. The ground is slippy, the rivers are high, dogs that normally jump in certain areas are getting into trouble because the flow is higher, the flow is stronger, and water sleeps peacefully, but stepping it the wrong way, and it turns into a serial killer. Simple as that. So be careful. Be careful when you're out there. Keep a respectful distance away from the banks of any river, creek, stream that's running high. Definitely canals because they're man-made and there's so many hazards in canals. Just be careful, guys, out there. All right, hopefully they do find Graham, and best wishes to his family who are missing Graham today. They're also missing Maddie, and to everybody else who's missing a loved one this Christmas time. And I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you have a great day wherever you are. See you soon. Bye, guys.